Welcome to this week's episode of Your 26th of July. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. This week I'm going to look at the charts for Sandfire, Ausdrill, Yowie and Kogan. This is a weekly video where I look at stocks as requested by you, so send in your requests and also make sure you share this video on social media. The more requests we get, the more chance we have to uncover something that's quite interesting. Also, just bear in mind that any advice is general only. Starting off with Sandfire, I'm glad that we've been asked about this one because it is one that's on my radar and it is one that I'd be looking to phone up my clients to buy as soon as the time is right. So I'll show you what I'm seeing. So this is one that we've traded before. So I'm just moving to a weekly chart here. Going back the last several years. So initially what I noticed was all this strong resistance at $7 and of course a break of that was a buy signal for us. I think it was late last year. It's had a good run. Look, we're not in the stock at the moment, but what I've noticed is if I just move back to the daily chart, you can see over the last year very nice uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. We've had this impulsive move up here in May, and then the pullback since then has been very corrective. So, you know, just a classic sort of flag formation. I love these patterns, and as you can see, just zoom in a bit more. As you can see, it's made this move in a short period of time, and in a longer period of time, it can't even get back to this level. So, very positive for the moment in terms of longer term. Shorter term, I don't know if it'll keep drifting back, but I'm basically looking for a break of this downtrend line here, because if that happens, I think there's a very good chance it'll rally up to a new high well above $10. Okay, Ausdrill, not a good looking chart because obviously it's dominated by this recent sell-off. It looks like it's back to some support because a bit over a year ago we had this, again, a classic sort of triangular consolidation. So a nice move up here, consolidation, and then when it broke above that, it went on for a very nice rally. But, you know, this uptrend here has ended. So with a bit of support here, it could bounce. It's sort of looking okay in the shorter term. Even onto the daily chart. Price action hasn't been too bad the last week with a bit of volume coming in around these lower levels, but you know, back to the weekly chart here, just given the recent sell-off, I'd just be a bit concerned that it's not just going to turn around on a dime and do a V-shaped recovery. So the other thing I've noticed is it looks like it's making a 5-wave decline. So we've got wave 1, 2, 3. Wave 3 is usually quite sharp and impulsive, which means we're probably in a wave 4, and then we'll get a final wave 5 down towards about $1.50. So I wouldn't be looking to rush in to buy this. I think any kind of short-term bounce, if it's fairly feeble, might even be a selling opportunity, and then you can reassess back down closer at $1.50. Okay, Yowie, another stock where, you know, the longer term chart is not looking good. Short term seems to be showing some buying support. So we've had from the May low a decent gap up, bit of a consolidation against that. Then as it sort of retested that low, it jumped up again and the volume picked up a little bit. And now it's consolidating against that. So, you know, showing a bit of short-term support. Maybe there's a short-term trade in there. You know, it's a bit risky for those who are into that sort of thing. But look, what I'm looking at to get more positive on the chart is, you know, we almost need a tripling of the share price to get through. You know, there seems to be, you know, quite a bit of, I think, resistance around here. So I think it really needs to clear this, and that would mean, from a longer term perspective, that this downtrend is probably over and it's formed a base, but I think it's still early days for that. And finally, Kogan, which has had a bit of a rough time recently. Obviously did really well from mid last year, and then it's unfortunately been a downward slide, directors selling shares, etc. So dominated by these sharp moves down. Going back to the daily chart, the last couple of days has seen the stock sort of gap down, close near its lows, gap down again, close on its lows. Big volume, as you could see here, for the last 2 days on the way down, so not a good sign. Of course we might get the odd small bounce here, but it's too early to say this is something worth buying. Maybe we've got a bit of exhaustion here, but often you'll get a retest. So, if we get a bit of a bounce and a retest at this level and then a nice move up, I'd feel more positive. But at the moment, it's looking, still looking under pressure. And there's been a bit of price action here almost a year ago, so it might head towards there for support, which is about $4. All right, well, that's it for this week. If you have a stock that you want me to look at, send it through and I'll try to fit it in for next week.